All right, so continuing our thinking. Oh, also the good thing with the GoPro Minis, you can put it super close to your face, like ASMR, so you don't have to talk super loud. Yeah, actually, it looks like a lot of people often ruin their vocal cords because they gotta project too much. So if you want to become a more effective talker, you should have a GoPro Minis. Yeah, but that's not flattering. You make your nose look big. It's like nobody cares, right? Just export as audio and turn into a podcast or something. So oh, so some other thoughts, like what is the role of like Google SEO, search engine optimization, especially in the world of AI? So it looks like Microsoft is super smart. They put a big investment into OpenAI. It's like Sam Altman kind of got like shoot off the CEO board or board of directors or something. Not 100% sure what's happening, but it's still important because I guess Bing is making a huge comeback. It's like ChatGPT is searching the webs, it just uses Bing to scrape it. Yeah, maybe a good time to buy Microsoft stock. So yeah, let's make Bing cool again, right? Yeah, honestly, ChatGPT is it's so funny. So like certain peoples I found super innovative and great thinkers include Peter Thiel in his 0-1 book. He predicted so much. Like the simple heuristic in terms of entrepreneurship, there are very few books worth reading. Typically only read books by the innovator themselves. So for example, the Invent and Wander by Jeff Bezos. I mean, it's kind of just like co-authored by him, which seems like a better book, edited by him and well tries. I mean, I think the Invent and Wander book is pretty good because it's essentially just like, it's kind of like Warren Buffett. It's like just a collection of his shareholder letters. And the thing that I find so insanely innovative is he essentially had his vision for building Amazon into being the thing it is today ever since he was still having his minivan or his Honda Odyssey or whatever, just shipping things to the USPS, and also just having the cheapo doors as the desks. So anyone who criticizes Jeff Bezos, I'm like, you just hate Jeff Bezos because you don't have any huevos like Jeff Bezos. And actually what a lot of people find, I think the foolishness or the naivete of a lot of peoples is that they think, oh, I wish I was Jeff Bezos and a billionaire so I could buy $1 billion worth of Lamborghinis and Ferraris. I'm like, y'all superficial. True innovators are actually really scrappy and innovative and like I don't like saying the word frugal, but like kind of like clever, I guess. Like for example, even Elon Musk, SpaceX did it. Like anyone who criticize Elon Musk and the grasshopper and SpaceX, I'm like, y'all's just like salty because you's not accomplishing your life. So don't trust small people. And yeah, just radical cost reduction. Like even like the Tesla Model 3s, they keep making the prices cheaper, which I think is a good thing for society and mass electric, etc. Can you imagine how sad it'd be if for the rest of life there'd only be Toyota Corollas on the road? Yeah, it's like Kanye's like, I pull up in my Range Rover, slightly scratch your Corolla. Yeah, even though there's a lot of things to critique about some Tesla design, I'm like, come on, man, like, it's like, I'm so glad that they done built it. Maybe I'll get this Tesla Model X. Even like as a fun hippie strategy, right? Maybe it's better to yeah, just buy an old used Tesla Model S or X or whatever's, and just be one of those hippie people who live in it. Because at least, I mean, it's funny because Tesla Model X not even that big, but I guess you could fold down the rear seats and you could just sleep like that in a homeless person. It's actually funny because if I was a Novu, if I was still just like a weird random solo bachelor and I live in the States, I'd probably just like just live in a Tesla or something like that. Or I mean, don't live in the States, like live in Thailand or Cambodia or Vietnam or whatevs. Yeah, America is like, I mean, I think America is great because you have maximum freedom, which a lot of people like. Actually, the thing that's difficult too is it's actually really difficult to meet Americans who are actually super pro-America. It's also funny too because like within the educated elite, I never met nobody who was just like, I'm proud to be American. Like they don't even use the word American. Like when you wave a flag, right? They think you like, you know, like you're just like you're giving fellatio to Donald Trump, right? I'm like, no, it's like I did Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. For my Eagle Scout project, I did a beautification project for this like kid center for like sexually abused kids in Alameda, Oakland, Bay Area, 510, 11 for life. And yeah, so I got American pride. I'm just like people's gonna be like, what is you, right? You do the smart ass thing and be like, I'm American. And it's funny, it's like, does Donald Trump even care about America? I think Donald Trump cares for like business, power, influence, and monies. Does Joe Biden care for America? Not really. Like he only cares for like politics to have political power. I mean, just like look at his son, right? It's like if his son did good things or bad things, doesn't even matter. It just means like, you just look at pictures of him being a degenerate. So obviously Mr. Biden didn't do a good job of fathering him. If the sons end up becoming degenerates, it's usually the fault of the fathers. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, like you look at the kids too, right? Kids typically, not always, right, become a manifestation of the parents. So if the kids is kind of messed up, it's because the parents kind of messed up, and then the parents messed up because their parents messed them up. Yeah, so look at the grandparents, they're the ones to blame, or you know, they just kind of was raised in difficult situations. Even things that I've discovered and noticed, there's much a different mentality between peoples who's born to the refugee families and came to America just like via the amnesty, I guess, rather than people who came here willingly. So I guess one of the good things about being Korean Americans is that like Koreans came to America willingly in pursuit of greater opportunities, like the land of opportunity, right? Versus like Vietnamese people, the boat peoples, a lot of refugees after the fall of Saigon came here as refugees, so they're always going to be stuck in a refugee mentality, which is about paucity and like everything to be taken for you. Whereas Koreans, I think there's more of a sense of abundance and also scrappiness to a lot of early Koreans who came to the States. Very entrepreneurial. They had to start from nothing, and obviously there's still a lot of racism against Koreans and first generation, but now I guess it's cool to be Korean. Looks like I was born at the wrong time. So what is we to do about all this? I mean, I think ultimately, simple thing like following your passion. Like actually one of the earliest essays and book entries that I got, it's like follow your passion, why you should follow your passion. People say, oh, it's not realistic, blah blahs, and I'm like, yeah, it's not, but like so is sending humans to Mars, right? So I think that, like, I don't know, just life in general. It's the world don't need more doctors or lawyers or, you know, programmers, tech workers. I think the world needs more innovators, creatives, kind of more crazy peoples, kind of more people like Eric Kim, and yeah, and I think society disdains the aberrant and the different and the unorthodox. So being able to skirt orthodoxy is a very good idea, because America thrives on unorthodoxy. I mean, like, you think about it, even the early settlers who came to the States, right? They all give the middle finger to the British, threw all the tea into the sea, and they're just like a bunch of ratchet pirates, right? And then the founding fathers, you think about the certain things like liberty, pursuit of happiness, blah, blah. I mean, I think the early vision of America was like, kind of like minimize governmental meddling in personal affairs, but, you know, having the basics, obviously, like having the police, the fire department, whatever. So anyone who's just like anti-police, you know who's the real bad guys here is the advertisers, a lot of the race riots and stuff like that, directly or indirectly linked to advertising. Because, you know, think about it this way, it's like, said person said racist X, Y, and Z, anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish, you know, who makes the money? Google AdSense. Who makes money? Facebook, Meta Corporation, Instagrams, whatever. It's like, you get more people to look at ads, then you're going to get more people to click on ads and view ads, and therefore the news agencies, the social media agencies make their money. And actually, it's funny too, because, like, and I don't really think anyone's quote evil. Like, these are corporations that need to make a profit, right? Like, even to my understanding, I mean, this is just my thought, I bet you Google, YouTubies, they're actually probably not that profitable. My theory too is, I bet you YouTube is actually operating still as a loss. Like they're so desperate to get advertisers on the platform, and like, obviously they get some money, but like, the amount of information and bandwidth being consumed by YouTube, I'm certain is tremendous. And I bet you that the advertising dollars that Google, YouTube gets from advertisers, I bet you it barely covers server costs. In fact, they might be operating in the red. They're still trying to figure it out. I mean, Google search is still probably the GOAT. Like, you search for something and those ads pop up. That seems like it's still the main profit driver. Like, even Google Maps, they're trying to add more ads into it, which I find very annoying. But yeah, I mean, the amount of money required to maintain Google Maps, the information, those 360 driving cars to do the Google Street View, I'm sure it's extremely expensive. So yeah, my personal prediction, I mean, like, to some extent, I think Google will always be, like, how long has Google been around? It's been around since I was in elementary school. I actually remember using Google, the first version of Google, when I was in like computer class, when I was still in Bayside, Queens, at PS 169. Yeah, I still remember PS 169 Bayside, Queens, the computer class using Google, right? And this is also where he found Maddox, right? It's like maddox.xmission.com, Eric Kim's first foray into blogging. And so, what, I'm 35 now. I discovered that when I was, what, 12 years old, 20 years ago. So I mean, like, certainly Google's gonna be around for at least another 20 years. But I don't know, my personal thought is, now with ChatGPT's, AI's, Bing, it's gonna be a slow transition. Future's not looking good for Google. I mean, my big bet is, I think if you're in the traditional market, you're on Robinhood, whatever, just short Google. Not looking good for Google. Amazon is still going to be robust because Amazon Web Services, the whole internet runs on AWS and also Netflix and streaming platforms is going to be good. Also, thoughts on Facebook Meta? Yeah, the Mark Zuckerberg made the wrong bet buying out Oculus. Unfortunately, VR is not going to be the future. It's going to be AI, because like no matter how good and cheap the Quest is, or the Meta Quest or whatever's, right? People like, also Apple, like, I mean, I think the Vision Press Pro thing is, I mean, I think it's cool. It's like, yeah, that thing never finna be mainstream. Unfortunately, the the future is still gonna be phones. People just want a small device that could fit in their back pocket or whatever's. Yeah, my big innovation, I think, if you want to build it with me, just shoot me an email, eric@erickim.com. I think the future is going to be some sort of haptic phone. Like, imagine a phone without a screen that, imagine like Braille for your fingertips, the haptic feedbacks, and the way it buzzes, you kind of get a mind-body communication with the device, which helps you understand what it's trying to tell you. And yeah, and essentially you could just, ChatGPT, Windows, probably gonna, you guys should make a new phone, and you could just ask it things all the time. It's gonna be a personal assistant. Like, imagine like the movie Her, but like less creepy, I suppose, is gonna be a good future.